Hey kids, it's Miss Talent. So you all have had some great questions that you have asked through Canvas and Remind, and so I wanted to kind of go over them with everybody to make sure everybody felt good. One question was that I got asked multiple times, and I think it might be that we're not on the Remind, so please make sure you watch I think it's 11.1 through 11.2 teaching video. Please sign up for my reminds. You can handwrite or type your unit packet. And I think where we're struggling a little bit is how do we type it because we're so used to handwriting it on a daily basis. So I'm going to kind of give you some troubleshooting skills on how to change the unit packet to make it easier to type. And then I'm going to help you with a few questions that were asked about particular content questions. And then I'm going to show you how to get to YouTube in case if you're still struggling to get to YouTube and I figured out maybe where the misconception was. So first is vocabulary. How do we type the vocabulary? So you're going to take this and you're going to delete these lines. Just scroll across and delete, and then you can type your vocabulary. So I do want you to delete those lines if you're going to type it. It just makes it a lot nice and neater. But you don't have to, but it's just going to make your unit packet super long. So make sure you delete those lines. Lots of you have asked, can I print it out at home and handwrite it? Totally fine. You'll just turn it in when we're all together. Next week I'll have a little spot where you can actually submit all your stuff that you have done so far onto Canvas if you're doing it digitally so you don't lose it. All right, so let's scroll down to 11.1 through 11. It's changing sounds. And so I had a question about this. This is very much so covered in 11.1 through 11.2 video. So I want you to make sure you're watching that. And like I said, by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to make sure you can get on YouTube and watch those videos. But that is very much so covered when I play the different instruments. The next one is 11.3, 2 and 3. And so explain how this experiment to the right can show that light travels through a vacuum. And so all of a sudden we're talking all about sounds and then all of a sudden we're talking about light. And I'll be honest, I went back and checked that I didn't mistype it because you do have a light unit, so I wasn't sure if I had mistyped. But it is asking about light, and what it is just contrasting sound and light. So if sound cannot travel through a vacuum, so this girl has sucked all the particles out of this vacuum. And so she can't hear the bell anymore. That's what's happening on this page in the textbook. But she can still see the bell. So I want you to think, can light travel through a vacuum? So that's number 2. And then why can we see the sun but we cannot hear it? Explain these two observations. So I want you to remember we're on Earth and the sun is in outer space. What's between us and the sun? And why do you think we cannot hear it? Because it is very loud. It's basically having explosions nonstop. It's a bundle of gas that's exploding. So I want you to think, why can we not hear the sun's solar flares occurring, but we can definitely see it? So think about that. And then down here, this was a great question. How do we draw these on when we're doing it as on the computer? And that would be really hard. You could be like really high tech and get a little arrow from one of these little tools up here and drag it and make it a little thing. But I'm going to make it super easy for you. So you're going to go to my sound video 11.4, or I think it's 11.3 through 11.5. And at one point I go over these questions with you. And so what you will do is you'll screenshot. It's Command Shift 4 to get a section right here. And so you will screenshot that. And then you will actually drag it into the spot right here. And you can readjust, and that's exactly how I do it when I make your unit packet. So you'll just pick one that fits these descriptions, and we do go over those in those videos, so hopefully you can figure it out. And like I said, a screenshot is perfectly fine to answer those questions. Also, a question was asked, how do we do the end of unit with the way I have formatted it? So it looked all nice and neat when we were hard copy, where you would handwrite it, but it is a little tricky with you all having to type it. So you can actually physically delete these because they are in your textbook right here, and you can just type A and answer them A, B, C, D, however you choose. Just make sure it's nice and neat and all of your teachers can figure out exactly where your answers are on your unit packet. Now let's go to Canvas and let's make sure we know how to get to our YouTube videos. So I'm going to just click a class because they all look the same. And so here are the videos. First, there's a welcome one to explain like why honors and regular are doing the same thing. We're actually going to do the same thing no matter what. And then here are the teaching videos. So when you click on one, you'll click and it's going to have this little sad face. And yes, you would feel like you cannot get to it, but it's okay. You're going to click right here in this gray bar and it's going to send you to YouTube and it should work. Please make sure if you're not getting there, and there I am, make sure that you make sure you are on Chrome. Make sure you have restarted your computer. They have unblocked YouTube. So if you're still having problems, please message me through Canvas or Remind and tell me, and I will make sure that the tech department knows to help you with your computer if they can push something out to you to make sure it works for you. But I think the problem with a lot of us were going here and seeing this little sad face and thinking that it was a lost hope. So make sure you click that top part. Please keep sending us questions. If I feel like there needs to be another question and answer, I'd be more than happy to do another one for tomorrow. But if not, I will be uploading how to use GarageBand on Sunday evening, so to help you with your ringtone project. And then we also are going to try Zoom next week, just to say hi to each other. So keep me in the loop, and I hope you all are doing well. Miss you all.